Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back here tonight with another requested reading, and this request, it is another political reading, so I'm hoping the requestee who did request this sees it, because when I do political figures, I am extremely more suppressed than I am now. You know, I'm very small, I don't get a lot of views, which is fine, but it's worse when I do like Trump, like my Trump video that I got requested to do about a month or so ago. That thing got shadow banned so bad, and then the one I did on the Epstein situation, that one got like severely shadow banned too. So I'm hoping you see this, okay? So anywho, that's what we're here to do tonight. I'm not taking requests at this time just because I'm still trying to catch back up. I still have a few videos I have to work on, so until those are all caught up, I will not be taking any. So just save your comments, and as soon as I'm caught back up, I will make an announcement and we'll start up with requests again. I just want to get caught up. I got way more than I thought I would, and it got a little too overwhelming because they just keep coming in, which again, I'm so grateful for, and I thank all of you. But it does get to be a little bit when you got like 30 requests you have to do and work full time and have people bombarding you wondering where their video is. Not all of you, but there has been a few who have been very, very persistent, and I'm doing the best I can. You know, I enjoy doing it, but yeah, you know, I just need to catch back up, you know. So again, I thank you all with infinite love and gratitude. So let's get all these laid out and see what's going on here. There's a lot of controversy going around, you know, between these two, and then of course Vance and Erica Kirk. It's just a whole fiasco going on right now. So let's see what we got between these two. One thing that I am kind of picking up on this whole situation without even pulling the cards, I almost feel like, and I'm trying to figure out how to explain this into the best way. So I picked up something along the lines of like, she at the time was like the perfect, I mean, I hate to say it like that because it sounds so weird, but she was like the perfect candidate, you know, for him to marry. You know, she's an Indian American, you know, it makes him look good. Yeah. I'm trying to explain myself, but yeah, it's almost like she was picked out, like he specifically picked her, you know, like she was going to be the one, you know, at the time. I mean, I don't know what's really going on with these guys now. We'll definitely pull some cards and see, but it doesn't feel like true love to me, okay? And, you know, some of y'all might not like me saying that, and I do apologize. I'm not trying to be negative, but it's just how I feel, you know? I just feel like a lot of this stuff, you know, not even just with like Vance, but like all these like higher status people, or it's just all a facade. It's like all for show. It's an illusion, you know? I don't know. Anywho, let's get right into this. So let's start off and see where each of them are at energetically right now, and then we will kind of jump into the relationship as a whole. Then of course we'll pull a couple oracle cards at the end. So let's see where Vance is right now, you know, energetically, and of course energetically around Usha. Is that how you say her name? I apologize if I'm saying that wrong, but his wife. Okay, so let's see where Vance is. I'm going to go with this one for Vance. So Vance is coming up as the Page of Wands in reverse, okay? So someone who is impatient, impulsive, distracted, and he's a little bit of a pessimist, you know, not a very positive person, is what I'm feeling, okay? So that's what he's coming up as. Let's see about Usha. Let's see where she's at energetically between these two. Let's do this one. So she's coming up as the 8 of Cups in reverse. So this is like stagnation and like just kind of being stuck. I really think this is all for show. I'm sorry. I really do, kind of like what I was saying a minute ago. It's like at the time she was the perfect candidate for him. And like I said, I feel weird even saying that, but some people will do that. They'll pick like the perfect person that kind of fits their image, you know, or like someone who's going to make them look good. I mean, you know, I can even use this as an example, and this might be ignorant, you know, and it probably is, so I do take full accountability for it. But a lot of people, I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, whatever, a lot of people do think that the right is very racist, okay? They don't like immigrants, you know, there's this whole thing. But with Vance, you know, of course, he is a Republican, you know, having an Indian wife, you know, it almost, you know, of course, in his egotistical mind might make him think, okay, well, I'm not, you know, I have an Indian wife. I'm not racist. You know, I'm not against immigration, you know, that kind of thing. Again, I'm not saying that is exactly like what he's thinking. Again, that might be a little bit of an arrogant comment for me to make, and I do apologize. Please don't take offense to that. But if you get it, you get it. You know, it's just, there's something weird about it, okay? And I'm feeling, I don't think this is a happy marriage. I really don't. I think it's for show. I really do. And within her energy, staying in a bad situation, stagnation, not moving forward, it's just, it feels weird, okay? It feels weird. Okay, so let's jump into this as a whole. Just their whole relationship dynamic. Let's see what we get here. So I'm gonna do this one. Okay, I mean, so achieving peace and forgiveness. I mean, that's a positive, I feel. Achieving peace and forgiveness. Happiness returns. So, I mean, maybe through everything, you know, that's going on, because of course, you know, we have seen, I mean, I did catch something about how, I saw it on Facebook, something about how, like, Vance wants his wife to, like, convert to Christianity, but right now it just doesn't really seem like that's what she wants. So that's just an example. But, you know, with this 5 of Cups in reverse, you know, it could be maybe they'll be able to move past the transgressions and move forward together, or just accept and forgive things as they are. So, okay. All right, next we have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, there's definitely an imbalance between them. This is not some soulmate connection. This is not some beautiful marriage either. I'm telling you, it's not. It's really not. And there's not like an equal energetic exchange with these two. It really does feel like, I'm sorry, and again, please don't be mad at me. I'm not trying to be negative or anything. It just doesn't feel all that real to me. Okay. So take what you will with that, I guess. That's just how I feel. You know, everybody's intuition's different. Everybody reads different. Everybody feels different. That's just how I feel. It's just, it's not this big, happy-go-lucky marriage that some people might seem to think that it is. Okay, at least I personally do not feel that, okay? Anyways. Okay, so next we have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So this is like lacking long-term vision, not thinking completely ahead for the future. Also an impatience and unfinished work, like something doesn't get finished. So feels like to me with the 7 of Pentacles that their relationship might hit a little bit of a rough patch. It's like there's not enough effort being put into things right now. And it just feels like there's frustration, too. There's frustration coming from one or both of them right now. And I do feel, too, just, and it's kind of obvious. I mean, you don't need to read cards to figure this out, but I feel like Usha is a little annoyed right now, especially with, you know, there's been a lot of controversy coming out, especially around him and Erica, okay? So I just have a feeling that she's just feeling a little, what's the word? Just a little icky about everything, you know? Like, it just, she's not too amused, I'll tell you that. Okay, so next we have the Six of Swords. So this is like moving on. Like, maybe in time they will be able to just let this go and move beyond this. It might just be, well, it is a little bit of a rough patch right now, it feels, for these two. But in time, once everything kind of fizzles out, they might be able to just be like, all right, whatever. Let's just move on from this, you know? And of course, there could be something I'm missing with that. I mean, I'm not, you know, 100% all the time, okay? I'm still learning. But, yeah. Okay. All right, next we have the Four of Wands in reverse. Yeah, I will tell you too, again, this is kind of common knowledge. We don't need cards or anything to say this, but he does not like that she's not Christian, okay? It's interesting too, because if he was so dead set on having like a Christian wife, I don't know why he married her in the first place, knowing that she didn't even come from a Christian faith. Like, I definitely think there's more to that than, you know, what I could even pick up, you know, of like why he chose her. But like I said, I do feel like a lot of it was for show. Like, she was the perfect candidate for him. That's what I'm hearing. Like, she was the perfect candidate. You know, she fit, you know, all the boxes at the time. But I do feel like now it feels like some of that's shifting, because he's already made comments. I saw the comment he made, like, oh, I really wish that, you know, she would just convert. I wish she would just, you know, switch over to Christianity. You know, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to me. But yeah, there's issues. There's an imbalance, and there's family issues between these two, or like marital issues, I would say. All right, Three of Pentacles upright. So yeah, this is about working together and teamwork. So this one isn't too bad. It's about working together. Or who knows, maybe she's in on it too. You know, maybe it's the same thing, you know, it's just kind of the role that they're playing, you know. But it works well. I mean, sometimes too, the three can represent, you know, maybe somebody else is putting their nose where it doesn't belong, if you know what I mean. But this is in the upright, so usually, you know, in the reverse, you know, there could be like some lack of commitment. You know, maybe somebody's got a crush. Maybe somebody is putting their eyes elsewhere. But with it being upright, I don't know if I can say that. But yeah, it's just about teamwork and working together, you know, and I feel in some aspects they have, you know, they have worked well together. But of course, there's definitely more. There's more going on, you know. Let's do this one. Okay, yeah, Two of Cups, you know, love, attractions, partnerships. So again, not a horrible card. You know, it's not all doom and gloom, you know. It's definitely not all doom and gloom. But mean, there might be a little bit of love there, but I'll tell you what, it's definitely... It's not like what I would want, I'll tell you that, in a relationship. I don't know how to explain it. It's just the way I feel, you know? Like I said, I'm more of a feeler than a seer, so sometimes it's hard for me to put into words, like, exactly what I'm feeling, you know, especially with the readings. Like, the way it comes out. But see, this is, like, sometimes where I get confused, and maybe, you know, if there's another person, you know, watching my channel, maybe you can help me. Okay, so if I'm feeling, you know, because like I said, I feel this imbalance between these two. Okay, but this Two of Cups, you know, this can signify, you know, having an equal give and take, you know, having an equal balance. You know, so what does that mean? Like, is it both? You know, I'm still learning, you know, so if somebody can help me with that, because that's one thing with tarot, and that's why I am, like I've said before, I'm working on my own deck, like with my own meanings and stuff, because I feel like it's just going to be easier for me to understand. Because sometimes with the tarot, I mean, I am a tiny bit on the spectrum. I'm not like severe, but my brain does not work like that. When there's like this overwhelm of like different meanings and stuff, I don't know. I tend to kind of get a little overwhelmed and confused. But what I'm feeling intuitively, you know, and even some of these cards we saw too, there's definitely an imbalance. I feel an imbalance. But with this card, this is a positive card, I feel. So maybe one of you on here can teach me something, you know, because I'm just kind of confused. So I don't know, but this is a positive card. So I don't know. Let's continue on. Okay, so next we have the Eight of Wands. So this is like a quickly moving change. You know, something happening very fast. Could be travel too, something with travel. So I don't know, maybe they're getting ready to travel somewhere together. Possibly, or, you know, something is going to happen very fast and quick for them. Okay, so next we have the Ace of Cups. So in reverse, this talks about cloud of joy, emotional disappointments, end of a relationship. Yeah, I mean, I do definitely feel like there's a little bit of issues. Like I said, of course, you know, still could be some good. And I mean, according to some of these cards, you know, there is, but yeah. Yeah. Relationship issues, distress, sadness, you know, emotional disappointments. And like I said, I definitely feel that with her. You know, I feel like she's just feeling a little, I guess disappointed might actually be a good word to say. You know, and like I said, with a lot of those comments that were made, you know, about him and Erica, because that was going all over the place. I saw that all over my Facebook the other day. I was like, oh, man. I mean, him and Erica are a whole nother topic of discussion, but yeah, it's just, she's not too amused by it, I'll tell you that. So, all right, let's continue on here. Alrighty. Okay, another ace in reverse. We have the Ace of Swords. Missed opportunities, miscommunication, confusion. Shit, maybe that's what all this is based on, you know? Maybe there's just been miscommunication. Maybe some things were taken out of context. Maybe making things into a bigger deal than what they are. You know, especially with the whole, you know, like I was just talking about, the controversy with, like, him and Erica and all the rumors and all this stuff. Maybe things have just gotten taken a little bit too far, or people took it the wrong way. So unfortunately, with that, you know, it's caused a little bit of conflict, but in all reality, it was just a misunderstanding. No, I mean, it's a possibility. I'm not saying that for certainty, but, you know, it's definitely Definitely a thought, you know. Okay. Okay, the Fool in reverse. So yeah, somebody does not care as much as they should. And somebody is easy to kind of play games with, okay? Head games. And just being foolish. That's how I read this. Acting like a fool, being careless, being reckless, and someone who's very easy to play games with and trick them and manipulate them. So, all right, I'll do a few more of these. Okay, let's do this one. Oh, I got the Lovers in reverse. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, I feel an imbalance. That's why I need somebody to explain to me what that Two of Cups means with it being upright. Like I said, I do know that there's a lot of different meanings with tarot. I think that's why I get so confused sometimes, because it can go so many different ways. I mean, my intuition will definitely pick up on some stuff, but, you know, sometimes with the cards, it does get a little confusing for my brain. Because there's, like, so many different energies, you know, you got the good stuff, then you got, like, the not so good stuff, and it's just, I don't know. But yes, I'm always open to learn, so. But yeah, I feel the imbalance between these two. I feel that intuitively very strong, okay, so I cannot deny that feeling. But yeah, this Lovers talks about conflict, imbalance, trust issues, danger of a broken marriage, disharmony. So, I don't know. I think there's definitely some things going on right now. Might come to pass, you know, hopefully it does. But right now, that energy is definitely there. Yeah, there's a lot of anxiety. Somebody's having a lot of anxiety right now. I almost feel like it might be her. There's like an anxious, overwhelming feeling within the relationship energy. Like, it's causing a lot of, like, chaos. It's causing a lot of uncertainty, a lot of tension. Just, it doesn't feel the greatest, you know? So, yeah. There's anxiety, there's doubt. All right. Okay, so we have the King of Cups in reverse, and I feel like this would be Vance, okay? The dude can't be trusted, and I feel that way anyway. It's not even just, like, the relationship and his marriage. It's just him as a person. I don't think he is a trustworthy person. I don't think he is a great person. I just don't feel that whatsoever. He feels kind of shady and slimy to me. That's just my personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions. And again, I'm not trying to bash anyone or anything. It's just how I feel. Like, he doesn't feel clean. You know what I mean? He doesn't feel clean. He just feels like another one of those puppet masters in Washington, D.C., just like the rest of them. Because they really are. They really, truly are. But, anywho, yeah, he can't be trusted to begin with, okay? He's not giving me that vibe for some reason. And then, of course, this also talks about, you know, again, manipulative. Somebody is very manipulative in this relationship, and I don't know. I guess go with how you feel on that. I mean, I'm definitely feeling more, I don't know. I don't want to say that because I feel like I'm being biased, and I'm not trying to be, but I guess I'll just say it. I feel more like uncertainty and ick with him than I do his wife. Okay? And again, that's just my opinion. Okay. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, and this could be her, okay? So, or it could just be in general. We got the self-absorbed energy, the financial independence, imbalance of family and work, dependence. Trying to piece this together here. So yeah, we have that imbalance again that I keep talking about. That keeps coming up. So that's just confirming that to me over and over again. And it does make me wonder if, like, I don't know. Because I thought maybe she came from money and she already has money. I'm wondering if there is, like, a dependence. I'm not completely sure with this one. But I will definitely read part of this as the imbalance of family and work, because I definitely feel that. Like I keep saying. I do not mean to keep repeating myself. I try not to do that, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Okay, we have the sun in reverse here. Yeah, there is sadness. There is unhappiness here. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. 3 of Wands in reverse. Lost direction. Yeah, doubt, regret. Fear of the unknown, avoiding risk. And even like with all the marital issues and dramas, at least that I'm kind of feeling is going on, you know, they might be another one of these people, because there's a lot of people like this, and I've talked about this before in other readings. Like some people, they'll just stay. They don't want the media attention. They don't want to deal with all that. So they'll just stay in a shitty marriage for the rest of their life, just because they don't want the negative publicity. They don't want that kind of light on them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there might not be any divorce with these two. I don't really know, but I'll tell you what, it's not a healthy marriage. There's a lot of imbalance, and it's just, I don't know, it feels so weird to me. It feels so fake. It feels like a show. All right, and the last tarot we're going to do here is the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, financial dependency. That's why I'm wondering, like, does she not have a lot of money? Like, or maybe he's the one that doesn't have a lot of money? I don't know. It's like a financial dependence. Okay, reckless spending. Lack of stability and security. Maybe that's it too. Maybe it's just a very unstable foundation between these two. That could definitely be it as well. But anywho, let's do a couple oracles really quick. Oracle cards before we close off here. So, deception, attraction. Right, marriage, that would, you know, confirm. Finances and career. Yeah, it's something. The religious stuff really bothers him. And I think it bothers her too. All right, one more. Oh, that one flew right out. I don't know if you saw that, but material attachment. Yeah, this is, I don't know, man. The religious stuff is definitely going to be an issue, okay? Of course, I know this says, you know, your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path, but like I said, those comments that he made about it, and she doesn't plan to do that. Like, she's not going to bow down to that, at least right now, I feel. Okay, so I don't know what's going to happen with that, but yeah, the religion, I think, bothers both of them, okay? And that could end up being a problem. We do have the separation card, so It's a 50-50 chance. But like I said, you know, the way these guys play this show, it might not even be mentioned. These people don't want that bad publicity if they can help it. You know, sometimes it does happen, but I feel like a lot of people hide stuff too because it's easier. All right, next we have pay attention to the red flags. There's definitely stuff, okay? Finances and career. That's what I'm telling you. Like, their marriage is based on this whole image. I'm telling you. I feel that. I said that in the beginning. Of course, there is an attraction. You know, there's definitely something there. At least I would hope there was a little bit. I mean, they had kids together. You know, they eloped. They did all that stuff. So I would hope there was a little bit at least. And then we have deception. Someone's wearing a mask. Someone is fake. And then we have material attachment. So there's something with that. And then, of course, the marriage. You know, and this just, to me, confirms their marriage. But, yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting to me. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Again, to the requestee, I hope you do see this. This video probably will be suppressed. It usually is when it comes to politics for some reason. It's so interesting because I see other tarot readers, they'll read all these people and they get put out there. But it seems like when I do political figures over here, I am just shut right down. I mean, I'm talking like 2 views per video. I mean, as embarrassing as this sounds, you know what, I don't care. I'm still grateful, even if it's just one of you who does watch. You know, my videos don't get a lot of views. Okay, I might range. Some of them might get like 20. Some of my other stuff might get like 150 to like 300, depending on what it is. But I'm telling you, when I do these politicians, it's like 1 or 2 views. I'm not even joking. So I don't know what it is with me, but I guess YouTube don't like me doing it. But other people can, but I can't. It's funny. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I thank all of you with infinite love and gratitude. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully in about a week, I will be taking requests again. So if you are subscribed and watching this, I know I do have some subbies who do watch all my videos, and I thank you too. I'll make the announcement soon. I'm going to close for now. Have a great night. Bye, guys.